After film school, I decided that I had to move to LA. Today, guys, we are in Hollywood. I wanted to talk to you about why I moved to LA and when is it the right time to move to LA. I've lived in LA for like 2 years now, and there's something about Hollywood. There's like a vibe.
Oh shit, I got scared.
Ew, are you fucking kidding me? You asshole!
Welcome to Hollywood. Right out of college, I decided to move to LA and just see what happens. I had no job, no nothing really, no place set up. All I had was savings in my bank account based on the gigs that I worked in college. I had enough savings that I felt would get me through about 6 months to a year in LA. And once I had that, I had to move. And so obviously you go through this transition where people will tell you, don't do that, like you need to get a job first. And I guess they're right, like you should have a job first so that you can pay your rent and do all this other stuff. But for me, I think when I base my decisions off of financial things, I realize I don't end up doing it. So for me, it was about just going out there and just making that switch. And if that meant moving out here with no job and just a little bit of savings to get me through the time where I would look for the job, that's all I needed. So that's what I did. I packed my bags from San Diego. All my buddies were like, no, stay here, like don't move. But I said, no, like this is what I want. And I think that's another key to life is don't actually, obviously take into consideration other people's opinions, but at the end of the day, do what you want to do. Even if it seems kind of goofy at the time, or most people won't agree with you and say that you have to have a job first and all this stuff. If you have enough money saved up, you can make that change. What up?
No.
What are you painting? Tell me.
Yeah, I'm painting caricatures here, cuties and beauties.
Nice. And business is good?
Yeah, it's nice out here. I mean, you just come out here and see what you make. You don't make a fortune. I mean, you're on the curb.
Yeah, but you're in Hollywood.
Yes, Hollywood curb.
That's right, Hollywood. Hey, have a good one. My next step was obviously finding a job, right? Like, how do I find a job in LA? Everyone's looking for the same job. Video, photo, there's thousands of us around here that are doing similar stuff. The first month here, I honestly didn't know how to approach it, and I was a little bit scared, I must admit. I was a bit scared because I knew that I only had so much savings before I would run out. So what I ended up doing is, again, I did what most people said don't do. I went on Craigslist, right? And I started applying for anything and everything. Sending out emails. I made templates for myself for video, for photographer, for an assistant, all those things. So if somebody was looking for an assistant, I could apply based on a template. Or if somebody was looking for a music video director, I could apply for that. My first gig in LA was, I got lucky. I applied to one of these jobs to be an assistant for a photographer, and turns out the photographer was doing a legit shoot for Chase, the bank. And so she needed an assistant who would handle some of the casting and also just kind of carry the ladder or the lights that she needed during the shoot to help her. So that's what I did. And I made quite good money actually for being an assistant. And then I found, that I could actually help with the casting of it. So she actually paid me more because of the casting. So I lucked out on that job. And then the next job for me was one of my buddies from film school. He was making a film. I actually didn't know him. I only knew my friend who was friends with this guy who was making the video, this feature film actually. And I got invited on set as the first AD. So that was my first feature ADing. It was 15 days. It was honestly very, very hard. The pay wasn't great, but it was good. And for me, I would have literally taken anything, because for me, it wasn't about really making a bunch of money. It was for me about trying to make enough money to be able to live, right? So I'm not wasting all my savings. I have some savings, but I'm also making some money so that I'm not just relying on my savings, because I don't think I would have survived if it was just savings. I would have survived for about 6 months and then boom, I would have been out. So that's what I did, and those were my first few jobs. That's what I did, guys. I hustled. I went on Craigslist. I would talk to people word of mouth. I would advertise through my website. I made cards. I went to events. Like, that's how I started. So nothing too special, but I think maybe that gives you an idea of, like, if you want to move to LA, I don't necessarily have a plan. You just know that you want to do it, and you know this is the best thing for you, and you have some savings saved up. Just do it, right? What's stopping you? You could make it happen. You just gotta hustle. Until next time, boys and girls, gentlemen, DG fam out.